Hello, I'd like to teach you how to play Aloha Ke Akua by Nahko and Medicine for the People. When you first listen to this song, it probably seems overwhelming to think that you could learn how to play this, but it's really quite simple if you use some basic techniques and pattern moves that I want to teach you. The first thing I need to show you is whether you read music or if you don't read music, you need to write down and memorize or learn these chords right here. We have C in the bass, C sharp, or key signatures are the 4 sharps. Okay, so we got C sharp in the bass, then we got middle C that's sharp, E, and then G sharp. That's your first chord. You can play bass C's or octave C's in the bass, or you can play 1 C. Your second chord is bass A's, then you have A, C sharp, and E. Your third chord is E in the bass, then you have E, G sharp, and B. And your fourth chord is G sharp down in the bass, and then we have C natural in this chord, D sharp, G sharp, and then C up above. If you can't reach the 4 chords, you can play just like the D sharp, G sharp, and the C if you choose. And basically the biggest part of this entire song is played with these chords, only with different rhythms and pattern moves with these notes that are in these 4 chords. That's what makes it really easy. If you look at the whole piece as a whole, like I said, it can seem really overwhelming. But if you break it down into small portions and understand it by breaking it down like that, then it's not so difficult. Like the introduction to Aloha, you have C sharp and E. Well, if you look at that, that's the bottom 2 notes of the first chord that I just showed you. So, and then the second part of that is, so he's using the bottom 2 notes of that chord. And a chord inversion, if you don't know, is you're taking 3 notes, like C sharp, E, and G sharp, and you're just inverting it. So you take the next 3 notes, E, G sharp, and C sharp, and then G sharp, C sharp, and E. That's a chord inversion. So you're playing the same notes just in different order. Okay, so let's get started. The introduction is the 2 notes of that chord, the first chord, C sharp, E, and you play this you do that 8 times, and then he starts singing. Lend your ears, lend your hands. Now you go to the next chord, which is this chord is what I've showed you, so that instead of taking the C, you're going to take the bottom 2 notes. Lend your movement anything you can. Then go back up to where you were, the C sharp and E. Come to teach, come to be taught. And then back to the D, the C, the A and the C sharp. Come in the likeness and the image of God. If you look at the third chord you're supposed to remember, there's that. You're taking the bottom 2 notes here also. Because you can be like that with all that. Be like that with all that energy and all that respect. Go back up to the C and the D sharp. So I see you're just playing the bottom 2 notes of those chords. Okay, so the next part's a little more difficult because of the timing. Instead of using 2 notes, you're going to be using 3 notes. And there's the musical way to time this is 1, 2, 3. Here's your chord. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Instead of playing the whole chord, you're just going to break it up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. But because, well, I've kind of tried to simplify it because it's hard for me to count that and teach it at the same time. So kind of like an exercise routine, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, because you have to do that 5 times, and then on the 6th time you're just going to hit the C, and then you're going to go right down to the next chord. So we're going to go, all of the power invested in me. Well, wrong. So count it out like this. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6. Then you're going to go immediately down to the next chord. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6. And then you're going to do that last chord, but you're only going to do C, E, and D. 1, 2, 3, 2, 3, 2, 3, 3, 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 5, 2, 3, 6. Let's see. So, and you're going to play this 4 times because there's 4 little verses that go through this. On the first 2 times you play it, you're going to play the breakup of these chords, and then you're going to come down here on the last chord. The last 2 times you play this for the last 2 verses, you're going to do this same thing, but instead of coming down here, you're going to come back up here. He takes the higher octave there. So, once you learn that, and learn it slowly, don't try to play fast at first because you're going to get really frustrated. If you slow down and learn it slowly and precisely, then you'll get there. Don't start off trying to go fast. But once you learn it, then you can play right along with him. So teach you that at first, but on the very last one, you're going to go C, E sharp, G sharp. So it's 1, 2, 3, and on the 4th one, you're going to go up to the high C. Okay, so then the next part, again, you're still using the same chord notes, but this is a little bit more difficult just through this section. You're going to hit your C sharp, your G down here. You're going to come up here and hit C up here. And then you're going to go E, C sharp, E, C sharp, E, C sharp, E, C sharp. So it's... The next one goes to your A, your E, and your A, all natural, and then your A up here, and you're just going to repeat this. You're just going to roll this chord. So it's... this for 2 measures. 2, and then at the beginning of the next measure, he'll go. So you're just repeating your C and your E twice. And then he does it again. And then he just goes C, E, and G. So it's... Okay. Now, to show you how easy this is, a big portion of this song is this next pattern, which is simply the 4 basic chords that I gave you. I go back and forth every single day. What am I doing? The clarity and comfy way. The feelings and the places and the seasons change. The galaxies. And this last one here, he's going to roll that chord. The galaxies remain. Okay, the next part. It's not the same. This is a different pattern. But you're going to take your bass A's down here. You're going to have octave A's here and add a C sharp and an E in the middle. So it's if you knew what go back and forth between the C and the E. You knew what we were for. You go up to the B's, D sharp, F sharp, and another octave B's here. New B came. Go down to the E. You're gonna go G sharp here. Same kind of pattern, but you're not going up to an octave here. G sharp, B, E, G sharp, E, G sharp, E. Informed. C natural, you got your G sharps down in the bass, C natural, D sharp, and G sharp. Formed. Bodies of info. Pattern. Then go to your B, D sharp, F sharp, and B. Come down to your bass E's, B, E, and G sharp, same pattern. Come up to G sharp here, C natural, D sharp, G sharp, same pattern, made up of particles. Your bass A's, your C, and you're going to go, so your C sharp, E and A, and then C sharp again. Same pattern to the next one. Next measure, B, D sharp, F sharp, and B. And then come down to your E, we're only going to do it once, and I'll make a difference, and I will have lived it. It's just one chord, G sharp, C natural, D sharp, and G sharp. Okay, then we go into the Aloha, the chorus part. On the very first measure, you're going to go from you're going to start with your C sharps down in the bass and position your, find all 4 C sharps here, middle C sharp and the higher one. And in the middle, you're going to add E and G sharp. Okay, so you're going to go. go with 3 fingers in the C sharp, E, G sharp, and then come up with your thumb to the C sharp, and then take it on up, G sharp, C. So that's the very, that he only does that in the very first measure. So okay, the next measure is your A's. A, C sharp, E, and again your higher A. And this is going to be the pattern throughout the rest of the Aloha chorus, but it's like, so you're just breaking up this chord, A, C sharp, E, A, C sharp, E, A, C, and then you're going to go to the next measure, E's. Find all your E's there, in the middle, add a G sharp and a B, so it's, then you're going to go to G sharp in the basses, and your C natural, D sharp, and G sharp, same pattern. Okay, and then he repeats it, but not with the first measure, but the same pattern with the C's. And then A's, E's, G sharp, you do this 4 times. The first 2 you're going to play in the upper octaves, with the last measure being the last measure of Ke Akua being in the upper octaves. The other 2 times you're going to start out down here just like you did, but you're going to stay down here and go lower instead of higher. After you go through that 4 times, he does another one of these little run things, and you go through this 3 times, and it is C, D sharp, F sharp, G, F sharp, D, C, D, F sharp, G sharp, F, D. You do this 3 times, and on the very last note you'll come up to your C. So that goes 3. So let's see where that moves us here on this song. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. Okay, this next part is kind of similar to where we do If You Knew What You Were For, but it's not exactly that way. Each day, you've got your C sharp, C, E, G sharp, and C sharp up here. Each day, and your pattern here is just repeat the bottom 3 notes and then the C. And then you come down to the A's. A, C sharp, E, A. Same pattern. And you go down to your E's. E, G sharp, B, and E. Whoops, wait a minute, on this one he just goes. And then I Will Give Praise is G sharp, C, D sharp, and G sharp, and C. So it's each day octave there. Each day that I wake, I give thanks, I give thanks. Each day that, each day that I wake, I will praise, I will praise. He goes through this again 4 times, and at the end, here's the roll on the end of this one. It's C, D, G sharp, C, C, D sharp, C, and then he repeats that measure. And then he goes into the roll. C, D sharp, F sharp, G sharp, F sharp, E, and he only does that once in this portion of the song, and then you go back up to the F, G sharp, F, D, and you hit your octave C's on that last when you hit the D sharp, so it's wait a minute. Your chords. And the day that I don't wake up and transcend the holy makeup, I am capable, I am powerful. And he does this for a bunch of verses through there. And again, it's just the same chords over and over again. Let's see where that takes us on the video here. It's hard for me to remember it all. I've got my little cheat sheet here to kind of guide me through the song, but it's too hard to write everything down, so I'm kind of following along through where we are in the song. Okay, right through here, he does something totally different too, and it's just, I just got to teach this to you separately because it's not the same anywhere. So it's the C sharp, G sharp, and then you're going to do the E, C like you did in that one part. The pattern, the bass notes are the same treble is C sharp, and then this is called a grace note. You play it really quick with the next note, and your next note is B, so you're going to go C, C, B, and then A, G sharp, C, C, B, A, G sharp, and then you put it all together. Okay, then you're going to come down to your A in your bass, A, E, and A, and your A up here, and you're going to do the similar kind of thing, the same pattern in the bass. And up in the treble it's A, grace note to G sharp, F sharp, and E. So here we go. Put it together. Okay, next measure is down to your E octave E's. Put a B in the middle of it. E up here. Grace note in here to D sharp, G sharp, and B. Basses. Put them together. You got G sharp here. Next measure, C, D sharp, G. Okay, so it's we're going to add a high C on that one, so it's C, D sharp, G sharp, back to the D sharp, and then up to the C. And then on the last measure, we're going to play this, I forget how many times we play this, like twice. You play this twice. On that last time, instead of going up to the C, you're going to do this little move up a whole octave. Just move your whole hand up for the C, the D sharp, and the G up to here, and you're going to add the C up here, and he rolls it. And then he goes G sharp, G sharp. Cool additive, anyway. So then you go back into your basic chords again. Do you speak to me like you speak to God, all the love and understanding of the Father and the Son? Oh no, wait a minute. Yeah, you go back into the chorus with these chords for a while. Okay. Then after a while he goes into, do you speak to me like you speak to God? Okay. This is C sharps, C sharp, E, D sharp here. And this is just kind of repeated 3 times. Do you speak to me like you speak to God? Down to A, C sharp, E. All the love and understanding of the Father and the Son. Do you believe in the so I don't know the words exactly, because when I'm focused on music, my brain don't do 2 things like that. Because there's no time to wait. You're going to go down to your E's at G sharp and B here, because there's no time to wait. Then you're going to break this chord up and go do 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 do, because there's no time to wait. And then you're going to go C sharp in your basses, and you're going to go C, D sharp, G sharp, and C right through there. This is a chord. You're just going to break it up. Next measure, if you knew what we were for, so that's A, C sharp and E. Knew what we were for. Go to your B's, and it's just 1 chord through these measures. D sharp, F sharp, and B. And how we became. And became, you're going to do E, bass E's, E here, G sharp, and B. Became, so just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Next measure, G sharp, C, D sharp, G sharp. I also add the F in there. For some reason that sounds better. 4, time to wake. Better wake up. We know what we are for and how we became so informed. Bodies have been performing such miracles. I am a miracle made up of particles, and in this existence I'll stay persistent, and I'll make a difference, and I will have lived it. And you do this 8 times on this last one, and then you go into a little 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do this 6 times. So that's C, D sharp, D sharp, and C. And then we go back into the chords. Aloha. Instead of breaking the chords up like you did on the last one, this time you're just going to do the chords on aloha. Aloha, aloha, ke akua, ke akua, aloha, aloha, kuleana, kuleana. And basically, except for a few runs, I'll stop it and explain them to you, but basically that's it. The rest of the songs, the chords play out with a few runs up in the higher octaves. But let's see where we left off. I never professed to be a singer, so don't leave a bad comment about my singing and not knowing the words, because I do know the words, just not when I'm trying to focus on playing the piano. Anyway, where are we at? When he starts going fast, you put your accent on your first count. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now the second time through, he adds a few little notes in here. They're really simple. You just got to work at it a little bit. Okay, have to play to see where I'm at. Okay, that's where I'm at. Okay, after you do the... Then you're going to take your chord. Here's your chord. You're going to add a C sharp up at the top, and you're going to break up the chord. You're just going to go... Back a little bit. Back. Decrescendo, ritardando, same chords. We're almost done. See, you thought it was so hard. Break up the chord and go up to here. Oops. And at the very last note, you hit D sharp and G sharp together. That ends the song. We did it. You can do this. It's easy. Just practice. Break it up into small portions. Learn the portion, then go on to the next one. Oops. I'm going to learn this one too. Anyway, enjoy. Make the movement move. It's awesome to play along with Nahko.